The Japanese Boxing Commission is changing things up due to safety reasons. Two boxers recently passed away. I did the video on the most recent one, um, and I'm gonna share my screen to update y'all on the two boxers. So bear with me. Shout out to the ones catching this. But we're gonna talk about how the brutal nature of the sport is now causing some individuals to maybe question this thing now and look at it, instead of looking at it from the entertainment aspect, look at it from also a safety lens as well. The images y'all see that is the two boxers that lost their life due to the injuries that they has succumbed to in the boxing ring. They sustained some brain injuries. One fight ended in the draw, and the other fight, the Japanese fighter was stopped in that fight. But let me go to this article. Uh, Japanese boxer Hiromusa Yurukawa passed away on Saturday due to injuries. Let me go through here, man. Following a bout with Yoji Saito on August the 2nd, he was 28 years old, and it says also Shigetoshi Katari also died. So both of these athletes from Japan were 28 years old, and it says they both fought for the Pacific Oriental and Pacific Boxing Federation. It's talking about the result of the fights that took place. It says Yurukawa had undergone cranial craniotomy in an attempt to save his life after his eighth round defeat to Saito. He did survive the operation. It's been a dark couple of years for Japan boxing, it says. In February of 2024, says Kazuki Anaguchi died from injuries he sustained after being knocked down four times in the bout with Saiya Satsumi on December 26th. I think I remember that. In May of this year, Genjiro Shigioka was placed in a medically induced coma after suffering an acute subdural hematoma following his split decision loss to Filipino boxer Pedro Taduran. The severity of his condition led to his mandatory retirement from boxing. So there's been a lot taking place in Japan. Few deaths. One retiring due to this subdural hematoma. Oh, it also says in June, his brother you died, posting an update on his condition. He said that his eyes were half open because he's no longer taking painkillers, adding that he had also started chewing and yawning. He described it as a somewhat reassuring encounter. Okay, let me see. Under pressure to act. And by the way, y'all, this article is from the TokyoWeekender.com. This is under pressure to act. The Japan Boxing Commission, gym owners, and other boxing officials are planning an emergency meeting on Tuesday. The JBC has already decided to reduce all Oriental was OPBF, but Oriental Pacific Boxing Federation title bouts from 12 rounds to 10. The offensive power of Japanese boxing today is tremendous. Tsuyoshi Yasukochi, Secretary General of the JBC, told reporters, "We have more and more boxers who are able to start exchanges of fierce blows from the first round. Maybe 12 rounds can be dangerous." So in Japan, the boxing commissions, they're looking at this extremely seriously. I had talked about it in my video when I was talking about, let me pronounce his name, get the right pronunciation. Uh, Shigatoshi Katari. When I did that video, um, I was just talking about how this situation is just it's getting rough, and then this Japanese Federation now they're taking it serious. But I was saying how like it's going to kind of probably take a high profile athlete before globally boxing changes, in the sense that they start really kind of trying to make it to where boxers are not losing their lives. Because um you know people are making jokes and stuff about Tom and Jerry, and have criticisms for fighters that fight defensively. But a lot of them are want to go back home to their families, and we're seeing in Japan that a lot of these athletes, some of them are not even seeing 30 years old. These two athletes were 28 years old, and lost their life due to injuries they succumbed to in the ring. So it's one of them things that these articles are popping up all over the place. It's making big headlines out there in Japan, and it's serious enough to where the OPBF is definitely trying to make some changes out there. Japanese Boxing Commission, they that's a big thing. It's a big attraction. Boxing is one of those sports that brings attraction, for the country, and a lot of them get involved and support. But you know the support ends when the life ends. So they're trying to make some changes. I'm sure that they don't want to lose anybody else this year in 2025, because it's already been a deadly year. And not to mention, it was saying also in the article that one athlete, almost died, but he was in a coma. And it's kind of dangerous too, because they get to these situations where they got to have surgeries, and a lot of times the surgeries, certain scenarios where the surgeries don't go, as planned, and so have complications with the surgeries, and they die like that. So it's a dangerous situation. I know that there's certain people that watch the sport, and they say they only care about the entertainment value. A lot of them don't care about drug testing in the sport, none of that stuff. They just want to see action. But this is the dark side of the sport, where um, the price of the action. When certain athletes are not really trying to defend themselves. If that's not on the main focus, if it's all about just trying to impress the boxing fans, if it's all about just the check, um, and not about a long successful career, then a lot of them is not going to be thinking defensively. They're not going to be thinking safety first. They're just going to be going in there, hey, look, man, whether they slurred speech after the fight or not, they just want to go in there and get their hand raised and have people talking about them. And a lot of them don't even care. Sometimes they don't even care about the loss. They just want to be people cheering, want people cheering for them and shit, while they lips is busted, and hematoma, and broke nose and stuff like that. And a lot of people think that that shit is cool. A lot of fans make the fighters think that that's cool. That, hey, man, you ain't got to work on defense, just go in there, be a warrior, get beat down or beat your opponent down, and don't worry about safety, don't worry about defense, just lay it all out there. And if you make it at the end of the fight, good for you. If not, hey, we move on. And a lot of people are kind of like, brutal minded in that sense, and I'm not that kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a sport that I participate in and that I watch, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's fucked up, because, like I say, if it had been one of y'all's favorite fighters, you wouldn't be just overlooking these type of topics. And I know it's a lot of other more popular subjects out there, but I'm taking my time out to address this and look at it, because these headlines is going to reach the quote unquote the powerful figures in the sport of boxing, to where I'm not saying that maybe they need to change the sport to 12 round from 12 to 10 rounds, but I think definitely do other things that is going to at least create a more of a safety security for the boxers. Let's get some good referees. Let's get some, of course, good doctors. Uh, and make sure that you're doing your proper stuff, like checking the gloves and um, not allowing fighters to do illegal shit. Um, exchanges in between breaks and shit like that. Like sometimes fighters be doing a little bullshit, and them little shits like that. Like sometimes a ref can say break, and one of them dudes will just whoop, just lay off, let off a shot, and that shot could have a heavy effect on the opponent because he's not expecting to get hit in that moment when he hearing break. So it's just a lot of shit needed to take place to where a lot of these, to where it can be um, a lot safer for the athletes, and they're not put in really in harm's way. But it's just a brutal sport um, all around. You know what I mean? So if there's certain things they can do to um, ensure that the fighters can make it back home, I'm for it. I'm definitely for that. Um, but at the end of the day, of course, it's all about entertainment as well. Um, it's the hurt business, so somebody gonna end up getting hurt. But I just don't want to see nobody get seriously hurt to the point to where they can't come back and return to their families and return back to the boxing ring and you know, do what they love to do. You know what I mean? So I definitely wanted to give some thoughts on that. Let me see real quick because I just did this randomly out the blue. Mark Nash, what's happening, homie? What's good with it, man? Shout out to Mark Nash TV. Um, Also, too, man, I wanted to uh, speak a little bit before I get out of here on uh, what I have been hearing on this particular fight that got made, uh, and that was with Jerron Boots Ennis, and a lot of people was like making statements saying that, oh man, Boots and Virgil, that fight is made or agreed to for next year, and which it might be true. Then also people were saying stuff like, I don't know, it was just like a lot of different rumors about Boots, and I didn't do no content on it. I was just like, man, let me see what he gonna do because it was just strange how he just vacated, and I was confused because I was hearing I would hear him say in interviews, he makes 147 comfortably, and his goal is to unify all the belts at 147, and then go up. And then I'm not saying this had something to do with it, but as soon as Brian Norman clipped Jin Sasaki in Japan, man, and got him up out of there, then it just seemed like he vacated and got out. You know what I'm saying? So it just was the timing looked kind of strange. That like, damn, bro, you did you you know retreat? Did you get your ass out of there because the heat was closing in on that unification? I don't know, but um, he vacates his belts. I was confused. I'm like, okay, he going up to 154. After he said he can make 147 comfortably, and it's just weird because being that he's working with Eddie Hearn, I'm used to seeing Eddie Hearn throw his fighters in there, man. And I'm talking about when I'm saying throw him in there, throw him in there with top competition. No tune up, no tune up shouty. We're not doing that over here. You better go over to PBC if you're trying to do some shit like that. I didn't never think that Eddie Hearn would be with that type shit. But I don't know, man. I just feel like he moving a little different with Jerron Enos, man. Um, yeah, man. I don't know if this is a good look, man, for Boots, especially with all of the extra energy that a lot of people had. Um, just because of the hurt, because a lot of people hurt, emotionally hurt when Errol Spence got cooked, and so a lot of people was looking for some new hope, newfound, a redeemer, and I think they felt like Jerron Boots Ennis is that redeemer, somebody that they can, you know, um, relocate to and bring out their pom poms and do that fanboy stuff. And a lot of people was trying to say, Boots is he's taking over. Everybody's scared of him, and nobody want to fight him at 147. this, that, and the other. Bud don't want to fight him. Spence don't want to fight him, and this, that, and the other. And then these opponents, though, when these opportunities arise, man, for him to really mix it up, it's just like, bro, what is going on, man? These Karens and these, the Stanley Onis fight was cool, but Stanley Onis was out of the ring for so long, and it wasn't Stanley Onis' fault. It was Virgil Ortiz's fault because Virgil had his little health problems at 47, and it kept stalling Stanley Onis out. But it was like, you know, I accepted, that fight was accepted because it was a unification, and Stanionis was somebody we knew about. But Karen twice, um, these just Avanesian after he already got stopped by Bud and other people, and um, then I heard the Rashidi Ellis fight fell through, and then all of a sudden this Lima Bean, you know, I forgot where he's from, what country he's from, Belgium or some shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know where they found this man from. But Journey's versus Lima Bean, man, on October the 11th. This fucked up. It's on my birthday, man. I'm like, bro, why would you put this trash? Somebody's trolling me. I'm being trolled, man. I'm not watching this shit on my birthday. I'm probably gonna watch it, but I don't care for the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting any money on it in his pocket. Not on my birthday for this shit. But yeah, man. This guy looked like a younger Kell Brook or some shit. But Jerron Enos is about to fight him. I heard the dude said something like, you're going into my division. He's like 14 wins, one loss. I don't know who he beat. I don't know who he lost to. Like I said before, shout out to Floyd Mayweather. Um, but Boots, man, bro, this is not good look, man. People is not feeling this shit. Um, it looked like you ducked Virgil, and it looked like you ducked Virgil Ortiz twice. You know, this shit is weird, right? When you think about it, because if I'm not mistaken, he turned down, or the fight didn't happen. I'm gonna just put it like that. The fight between Boots and Virgil didn't happen because Boots wanted it at 147. If I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. And Virgil fights at 154 now. We know he got health problems at 47, so that wouldn't make sense for Virgil to try to kill himself again. Um, so it was like, okay, Boots is not entertaining it because he got unfinished business at 47. He ends up going up to 54 anyway to fight this Lima Bean dude. But so it's like, was it the weight or you just wasn't ready? You're not ready for the level of Virgil. So I don't know, man. A lot of shit is kind of getting, I think, exposed with Boots, man. That um unsure promotions, maybe maybe he's not ready. Maybe he needs a few warm up fights. And if that's the case, then that's the case, man. But we got to stop with the boogeyman shit. And this is not no the next pound for pound type opponents. Then if you're picking opponents like this, you're not the next pound for pound. You're not. Not yet. Not doing this shit. You know, because I don't get it. What relevance this guy Lima? Man. Let me do my due diligence. Let me look his ass up, man. Let me look this up, man. Let's see if he nice. Let me go to the box, right? Uisma Lima, aka Lima Bean. Um, Look at this man. Former crack pipe. Let me stop. Um, so just want to get the spelling right so I can get his credentials before I get out of here. I've never heard of this dude ever. He got the IBO strap, so Moots will be fighting for the IBO belt. So shout out to him. Is this serious? Is this for real? Bro. Yeah, man. Jerron Ennis need to be flamed for this, bro. Oh yeah, you definitely deserve to be cooked for this shit. This guy, Uisma Lima Bean, this nigga ain't shit. Look at this. This is 8 months ago. But what I did notice in his box ring, I think his last three opponents was undefeated, but they don't. They're not. They must be fighting fucking Walmart greeters. No, no, this is nasty work. No, mm-mm, mm-mm. This is a clear. This is a definite tune-up right here. Damn, Eddie Hearn, you allowed this shit, bruh? Where do they even find this man? Nah, bro. This is nasty work. Hey, come on, Philly. I get it, man. And you know what too? I get it. He got a hell of a I don't own the rights to this content I'm viewing right now. This is for educational purposes and criticism. But I noticed he got a little support team or whatnot. Um, I do be catching content from like YSM Sports Media, I believe that's the name of the channel, and Greg Hackett, of course. And I'm not gonna say that they fanboys of Boots, but I think they're gonna kind of keep it politically correct so that he don't, you know what I mean? So that relationship don't get, rocky. This is not it though. This is really not it, fam. Hey man, I give Virgil some points, fam. I didn't, you know. Right now, I got Virgil. Like if I was gonna do a pound for pound, I got Virgil ahead of Boots right now, man. You know what I'm saying, just sorry, man. You're gonna have to catch that fade with Virgil, bro. I get it. He won them two belts at motherfucking 147, but nah, bro, nah. One was handed, one was emailed, and the other one you defeated an opponent coming off a long layoff, man. Stanley Jones didn't really get a fair shake in that situation. I'm not saying Boots didn't do what he needed to do, but come on, man. Look at this disgusting work from Limas, man. Nah, bro. Yeah, I've seen enough. This is gonna be a knockout for Boots, man. If not, you need to retire. If Boots can't get rid of this man, then you're trash. You're trash, bro. Oh shit, my dog Yuli X in the building, man. What he say? Boots claim he can't make that weight anymore without identification because he's too drained for the IBF rule. Um, Man, he didn't say all that. See, he left them. I mean, what part? What interview was that? Because maybe after the fact, but before the fact, he was talking about, nah, I make 147 comfortably, and that was the first. He was lined up in the IBF. I mean, you the one went after the IBF belt, Boots. You know, you wanted the IBF belt so bad. You knew what came with that. You know, like I said before, he be saying that shit. Like I said before, I make the weight comfortably, easy. So, these guys will keep ducking me. You gonna keep ducking. Nobody ducking you, bro. I don't, and niggas is not ducking Boots, bro. Eddie claims these guys want more than he can offer. All right, man. This is not a good look, dog. Kieran was a man. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that these names, when you got names like Karen, you don't need to be turning down Virgil. That's what I'm saying. That's the best shit you pretty much got on your resume, man. Karen and Stanley Jonas. Respectfully. But no. This train is parked. Yeah, that Norman you know, that Norman conversation is that's a whole nother convo right there. Cause yeah, I don't 100% like how the Norman's been, um I can't fully say that they ain't been moving funny either. But 147 just turned into shit. After Bud became undisputed in the left, it was over with, man. He conquered, man. He took all he I told y'all, man, I said this shit in my last video, or two live streams back. Bud is the Shang Tsung of boxing, bro. Motherfucker takes the soul and life out of shit, bro. He took the soul out of 147. He beat the fuck out of Errol Spence. Everybody had all this hope, high hopes and dreams behind Errol Spence. He beat the shit out of Errol Spence, became undisputed, and everything. The light went out, man. You know what I'm saying? Put that light out quick. You know what I'm saying? No more light at the end of that tunnel, man. Shut that old strap season, man down. He put that shit to bed. Quick. Stopped it in its tracks. Said they um don't do planning for future fights. So Team Boost was like time to move up, and as he can't do that IBF weight class. Yeah. Well, nobody thought he was gonna move up and fight Lima Bean. Um, all I seen was what 4 minutes of highlights. That was all I needed to see. Niggas trash. This Wisma Lima guy that Boost about to fight is absolute trash, bro. And he got the IBO. I mean, shout out to him. I don't know who he fought to win the IBO, but that is disgusting work. Shout out to 1-2 Kid, man. Puss in Boots, bro. Yeah, looking like it. Looking like Puss in Boots, man. Decent. What do you think of the Haney Norman Jr. bout? Um, I I have not seen a lot from Norman, dog. Um, I don't really get all excited about because it seemed like all of this newfound excitement came once he knocked out this Jin Sasaki guy, another dude I've never fucking heard of before. He's a boy. He look a teenager, man. So I mean, it was an impressive knockout. I mean, probably knockout of the year. He made just Jin Sasaki head bounce off the canvas like 4 times and made him have 6 week memory loss. So the power is definitely the truth. And we know that Devin Haney has issue with hookers. No pun intended. So you got to stay away from hookers. But experience, man, experience. I believe that Devin Haney has fought opponents far more skilled than Brian Norman, far more slicker and faster than Brian Norman. Um, but I believe that this fight is going to come down to Devin Haney, his preparation, his game plan, and not making no mistakes. Not making no mistakes. Fighting the right fight, sticking to the game plan, not being baited into a you know, unnecessary exchange or nothing like that. Because if he do, um, he could go to sleep. It could be night night. You know what I mean? So um, I think that I'm slightly favoring Devin Haney. Um, he definitely cannot fight the same way he fought versus Jose Ramirez. Um, that fight was shit, absolute shit, and he cannot fight that way anymore. And I don't think that he's going to win another fight fighting that way. But I do favor him on points, but there is a chance that he could get knocked out. There's a chance he could get knocked out. You know what I mean? Um, this is a higher weight class. We did see him get dropped multiple times and get back up, but that was against Ryan. It wasn't juiced up Ryan, but Ryan Norman, I believe, is the naturally bigger guy. I mean, naturally bigger than Ryan, and may have a little more power than Ryan. You know, I don't think the hook is quicker, but I mean, I definitely think the power is there for sure. So Devin just got to look out for the hook. Fight smart. Fight smart. Keep Brian Norman thinking. And definitely stay off the ropes. Don't you know what I mean? Don't get trapped on the ropes and shit like that. But yeah, man. Yeah, and just hopefully no bullshit happened before the fight. Saw the little altercation between the camps, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Man, not a good year for Japanese boxing. They have too much heart and no head movement. But yeah, I mean, but I'm glad you made this statement because it's been a strong emphasis on just stand there and fight, slug it out, be warriors, but no emphasis on defense. And this is a result of fighters not having defense, man. Really, it is. It's sad to hear about boxers losing their life and stuff like that. But the common denominator is kind of what you stated, man. Whole lot of heart, no head movement, a whole lot of emphasis on entertainment, but no not enough emphasis on safety and defense. And as a result, these dudes that go back home to their families. You know what I mean? And now the Japanese boxing commission is just like, oh no, we're gonna have to cut these rounds down to 10. Fuck these 12 rounds. We're gonna do 10. You know, and maybe some people feel like that. You know, boxing overall should be reduced because um be honest with you, I don't know if I wonder what the statistics rate is on the 15 rounders. I would love to ask like Blood Boxing, Rasclot, um, Bruce Gas, one of those type of guys, boxing librarian. Like, what? How was there a lot of deaths in those time periods when they had the 15 rounds? Because I didn't never. I mean, I haven't heard anything about like, oh man, Deuce was getting nigga murk, nigga going trying to do them 15 rounders. I wasn't hearing shit like that, but maybe it just wasn't really reported like that. Media wasn't like that at that time. So I don't know, but I would love to know the statistics on that. But yeah, man, dudes is just getting blazed in that ring, man. Concussion promotions, and then these unsuccessful ass procedures that they have in operation, man. Dudes is not making it out. So it's a cold thing. I wonder what they are doing for their training, as you mentioned. Two dudes died on the same card. Like, what is that? Two dudes died on the same card who was the same age. Like, what are the odds of that happening? You know, it's crazy, man, how that happened, dog. It's crazy how that happened, but um, yeah, and then of course, so two dudes in Japan died, and then two was one had 6 week memory loss, and the other one was in a coma and barely survived. So really, four people that was affected by head injuries um, in the boxing ring this year from Japan. So man, I'm just bringing awareness to it, man, because like I say, man, if it trickled down over here to some of y'all's favorite people, shoot, y'all gonna wish I was participating in these subjects. Who you have this weekend, Moses or White? Um, if Dylan White is sober, no PEDs involved, he probably gonna get knocked out in one round. Probably one round or some shit.
I think I seen like maybe two fights of this dude, but it was like quick ones. So I don't know. I kind of see it like that happening. You know what it is with Dylan White. Throw the uppercut. Time to uppercut is some shit, and he's out of here. You know, his feet to be all in the air, and so I expect Dylan White to probably get stopped by a brutal uppercut, and his brother can do the what do you call it whatever damage and shit. But yeah, damage control and shit. I don't know why Boots have been swerving names. He seems like the type to get up for fights. Yeah, man. I don't know, 1-2 Kid. This is it's not a good look, man. It's really not a good look at all, man. That he's just finding this Uisma Lima guy. I'm telling you, man. Go check his highlights out, man. He is absolute ass. You know, there to be hit promotions, man. That's all I can say. There to be hit. Jerron Booten is not gonna have any issues landing a record. Like if the guy is durable and has a good chin, he'll probably land his record amount of punches on Lima. You know, and if he gets stopped or something, he gonna get cooked, bro. I'm gonna participate in cooking Boots Ennis. Cherry pick going wrong promotions. 15 rounders and same day weigh in promotions. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Dudes was fighting 15 rounders that had same day weigh-ins, man. Dudes was probably getting thoroughly cooked during that time. Man, that's really all I got for this one, man. Boots, man. After this shit, bro. After this Lima Bean dude, you about to fight, man. No more, man. No mas. You cannot do this cherry picking shit, bro. You haven't done shit, man, to be doing this cherry picking shit. That's what's bad about it. I can see, like, there's certain fighters in the sport of boxing that been putting in work to where I'll be like, you know what, you deserve a tune up, bro. You deserve the cherry pick, you know. Um, but like I say, it's very few that I'll be like, yeah, yeah, you deserve, a cherry here and there. But if you ain't really been putting in no work like that, you don't have any like multiple uh defenses, multiple, world champs you fought on your resume. Why are we looking for these he definitely looked like a bagger at a local grocery, a deli or some shit, man. The dude he about to fight. This is not necessary, man. This is a little champ shit to me. It's not big champ shit, the way that they move in boots. Um it's always and it's almost the same kind of shit. It's just different faces, different platforms, different media. Whereas you had this one dude who had a lot of hype, and then you got these media platforms in place to help defend them and say, oh no, this, that, and the third, and say, oh no, he ain't ducking. It's business moves, or like I'm seeing it now, man. I'm seeing it now with this guy Boots. A lot of the same symptoms. I'm not saying he can't scrap, because it was a lot of fighters, man, that had these you know these goddamn media groups, the media teams that's out here on the front line for them, and they can scrap. They got multiple wins and shit, but it just be like, man, when you want to see them fight a particular person, then here they come with the politics. Here they come talking about, man, this dude, man, he ain't selling enough. A lot of people, I bet you somebody going from Boots on the Boots side gonna say Virgil don't sell enough, man. When you start hearing them talk like that, it's over with. You can forget it. That's not next future pound for pound type dude. When they talking like that for that particular fighter, he's not the next one, man. He's not. Man, this dude don't sell enough, man. Boots is filling up. He filling up arenas in Philly, man. What you talking about, man? You know what I mean? This nigga they got a kind of Philly, man. Nah, bro. These dudes ain't selling enough, bro. They gonna start talking. When they talk like that, it's over with. Forget it. It's a matter of time. And as far as the Japanese Boxing Commission, man, you know, um, if they feel that the best decision is to, you know, reduced to 10 rounds, so be it. So be it. I'm not mad at it because, it's a situation where, man, you know, uh, health over wealth, man. You know, all lives matter, man. Even in boxing, you know, even though certain individuals don't want to treat boxers like their life matters. And that's the issue we having right now. A lot of the ones, the leaders, the ones that got the top, the power and the money, they don't, in their opinion, boxing lives don't matter. They don't talk about, the drug cheating in the sport. They're not talking about, bringing awareness to people losing their life on these cars and shit like that. Not the ones, the powerful ones. They're not even talking about that because they don't care. You know what I mean? So you take small channels like mine's to bring awareness and say this, from the underground, and hopefully it grow and spread like wildfire. You feel me? Let this flame spread through this boxing movement and get a few more channels saying something. You know what I mean? And you know what's so funny? Because speaking of powerful people in the sport, Turkey El Sheik, um, he's definitely created a lot of headlines with the Tom and Jerry. And it was so funny because Tom and Jerry was on the other day. I'll be having little things I'll be trying to put on for my son. And it was funny, man. There's a lot that you can learn from Tom and Jerry. Uh, one dude was super emotional. I looked at Tom as like he was a big emotional, big dummy, basically. You know, but he was the bigger guy. He was the bigger opponent. The smaller opponent, Jerry, he wasn't as big. He couldn't go head up. He can't have no head up fade with no Tom. He'd get cooked, man. Devoured, demolished about this piece, man. So he had to be smart. And it's the same thing in boxing. Smaller guys who have the guys that have the disadvantages, they have to use their mind. Jerry was smart, man. Jerry was setting traps for Tommy and was fucking Tommy up, you know. And so that's why the science, you know, it's a science to it. It's an art. Some of these smaller athletes or athletes that may not be the most quickest, that may not be the most have the most power, they can got to use their intelligence, man, to outthink you, you know. And maybe some people are just super big Tom fans, and Tom kept losing. Tom kept getting his ass whooped, and the little mouse, who had all these disadvantages, kept kicking his ass, kept kicking his ass, man. So a lot of people just, maybe feeling some type of way. Yeah, these dudes who might be all beefed up, roided up, and expected to win, keep getting their ass cooked because they're not smart enough. Muscles don't make you smarter. Lifting weights and taking PEDs, that don't necessarily make you more intelligent. You know, you might be more alert. You might have more stamina. You might be hitting hard as heck. But you know what? You still could be dumb as fuck. And your opponent, who might not be on PEDs, just might be more smarter than you and just will figure out that a way to win. So yeah, man. Um, I just thought I'd throw that little nugget out there. How dudes been talking about, yeah, we're tired of seeing Tom and Jerry, but there's a lot you can learn, a lot of art to Tom and Jerry, fam. You know, so yeah, that's really all I got for that statement. And I would rather these Japanese boxers be on some Jerry shit than to be on some Tom shit and keep losing their lives out there. So that's how I feel about that. Jerry Anderson, don't want that Miller smoke. Yeah, that's gonna probably have to be the next video, man. That's gonna be definitely be the next video. The Wankster Miller, huh? They call him Willer. Don King stopping Michael Hunter from fighting Miller. Oh, I thought that fight was supposed to happen though. I did see a report. God damn, Don King. That's not patriotic. Only in America, baby. Ducking. That type level duck. Wild is the slugger, Jerry the boxer. You see what I'm saying? Do you see the science? So, you know, I don't mind seeing Tom and Jerry, but Tom got to get, have a more smarter game plan and approach, to the more slicker, quicker Jerry. Because a lot of time Jerry got way more dubs over time, fam. Last time I checked, way more W's over time. Tom be going in there all super angry as shit, mad at the world. Jerry talking all kind of shit. He's swinging harder, probably getting tired. Next thing you know, he nodded up at the end of the fight. Like, damn, nigga, how this little nigga? Yep. So should have been talking shit. Joe dumb ass. Yeah, that's all I got, man. I'm the Black Horseman. Shout out to the UGC. All my peoples that came through, UliX, 1-2 Kid. Shout out to Charles D, Lisa Bells, Actual Facts. Shout out to my dog, what you call it, man, all my peoples on the channels tab, man. I mean, all my people's on the channels tab. I mean, that's been supporting this movement, man. Real rap. But yeah, man, I'm gonna keep y'all informed. I actually tried to look up more information on this Jen Sasaki, and I'm not seeing nothing. Last thing I heard was the 6-week memory loss, but I have been checking. The only thing I seen was the reports that the two Japanese boxers that lost their life on the same card. But other than that, man, I didn't see no update on Jen Sasaki. So hopefully he's all right. Um, the other guy that had went into the coma earlier this year in Japan, he's okay. He's recovering, but he's not in good shape, man. He's probably will never get back to 100% form before the injuries that he succumbed to in the boxing ring. But hopefully I hear something from Jen Sasaki. I will keep my eyes and ears to you know um the media platforms and articles and websites when it pertains to his health, because I haven't heard nothing on that. Haven't heard nothing on that. And Brian Norman viciously knocked that man out. So, you know, um, yeah, man, Japan, hopefully you guys can get with the right trainers that is teaching y'all how to defend yourselves a lot better, so that we don't hear no more reports, especially not this year. I don't hear no more reports this year in 2025 that um, somebody from Japan lost their life. You know what I mean? Julie X, what he say? Willie Coyote versus Roadrunner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They gonna say runners and shit, but Willie, he was getting fucked up. Willie Coyote was getting his ass served, and a lot of people is tired of these, you know, these dummies, these dumb athletes. Some of y'all is in full support of them, and that's okay, man. But um, you know, when these game plans and these approaches that they keeps applying to their opponents is not working, then you must apply flame so they can do something different. But instead, what a lot of people do is applaud it and say, yeah, this is great, this is boxing. No, it's not boxing. A lot of what these athletes are doing is not boxing at all. They're just getting their ass whooping, and a lot of y'all saying that that's boxing. Dudes is getting punished, you know face fucked up, and y'all saying that that's boxing. No, it's not. It's called lack of defense. That's really all I got for this one, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Keep y'all informed on what's taking place in boxing. I'm out, man. Peace.